Hi everybody, welcome to another video on my channels. And before I start, wherever you're watching, please subscribe to the channel you're watching this on. That being said, I'm going to do a word about RFK joining, Robert Kennedy Jr. joining the Trump campaign actually. No matter what you think of it, this is really a historic moment because there's so much involved. There's like the karma of the United States is involved because Robert Kennedy's father was shot, his uncle, the president, JFK, was shot. And he's been speaking out on a lot of subjects, actually. He's really an activist in the last decades. And he spoke out against Bill Gates, he spoke out against Fauci. Now he's joining the Trump team. Now, this may be a surprising move. And it was quite surprising for me, actually, too. Because he was critical of Trump, but now they seem to, as he said in his speech, agree on a lot of key issues that he wants to push forward. Now, people who follow me know that I'm quite skeptical of Trump in a way. And my issues with him were, especially that he started Operation Warp Speed and he promoted the vaccines to his public, as you'll see in this clip that I'm going to play now.
The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. The vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. But it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. Look, the results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get it, it's a very minor form. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But you got...
So that's what I don't like about it, and I don't want to play into division. I don't want to divide people that are really for freedom, because a lot of Trump supporters are for freedom. I like Trump supporters. They are pro-freedom. They want no mass immigration and all that kind of stuff. We all want the same thing, but in the truth community there is a little bit of division. As is outside of the truth community on the person of Trump. And I'm quite careful because, as I also spoke about before, he surrounded himself, with J.D. Vance as his vice president. And J.D. Vance is actually sponsored by Peter Thiel of the Bilderberg Group. That is proven. I mean, Peter Thiel donated the biggest amount ever for a political candidate. So his career is actually made a little bit by Peter Thiel. He knew Peter Thiel from when he was in university. So that is something I have to, that makes me be very careful around the person of Trump. But I don't want to play into division here. Whether you're pro-Trump or not pro-Trump, I mean, we all want the same thing, right? We want, this New World Order to stop. We want, these stupid wars to stop, like the war in Ukraine, which RFK has spoken about, that he said he really supports stopping that, and use that money that is used for wars, use it for the people. But of course, with the New World Order's crazies in control, that's the agenda. And honestly, if Trump turns out, if Trump is the good guy, I would love that, because that means things are a lot better than if he wasn't, But I'm very skeptical and I'm very careful because of those things, that I just mentioned. Anyway, what to think of this is, and it's not always black and white. Also, in reality, it's not black. It's very easy. It's very human to say you're with us or you're against us. But we have to be very careful that mentality also doesn't seep into the truth community. Like if you're pro-Trump, Trump pushed the vaccine, then you are like stupid or something. No, but I want to address some things here. Like let's assume that Trump is completely fighting for freedom, which what you can believe whatever you want. I don't want to have division around it, but I want to lay out my train of thought here. Let's suppose Trump is completely fighting for freedom. Then people are saying, yeah, he pushed the vaccine, but it wasn't. Some people are saying, It was a mistake of him. But how, for me, that's an unforgivable mistake. So even if Trump is for the light, I do find it an unforgivable mistake that he's pushed Operation Warp Speed and that he recommended the vaccine to his public. Because the vaccine is absolutely, the damage it has done is incredible. And some people will have taken that because of Trump's promoting the vaccine to his public. So even if Trump means, even if it is not black and white, and in some ways Trump means well, then it's an unforgivable mistake of pushing that vaccine, and that's where I don't agree with him. On the other hand, I do like RFK, and maybe this is going to be, and this is probably, politically, this is a very smart move of RFK, because now he, of course, the media were like totally cock-blocking him, because he left the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party, as RFK says himself, is totally corrupt. But now this puts an enormous spotlight on him. So this is a very smart move of RFK. And maybe in 4 years he might become president. And it's kind of in the karmic destiny of America that this may happen, with his father being murdered, with JFK, the most famous assassination in political history ever, his uncle being murdered. So, we're seeing the stage here being rolled out for maybe RFK being president in 4 years, which I personally think would be, of course, a lot better than Biden. And, we don't have to choose the lesser of the two evils here. And people saying, even people who don't fully like Trump say, I'm going to vote Trump because, the alternative is a lot worse. Yes, I do agree, but we got to be careful that we're not put in that two-party system again. Before Trump came on the scene, all the conspiracy theorists knew the Republican Party and the Democratic Party were two dragons two dragon heads of the same body, like the multi-headed dragon. And behind the scenes, they're controlled by the same forces, because the Republican Party was traditionally the party of George H.W. Bush, Reagan, totally New World Order type people. And the Democratic Party of Clinton, also totally New World Order type people, and they're friends with each other, the Bushes and the Clintons. So we got to be careful. We're not being forced again in that lesser of the two evils scenario. That being said, maybe there can be some positive change with RFK coming in here, or that might be a possibility. But on the other hand, maybe they're both totally in on it. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's all one big giant show. I'm not gonna say this or that is completely 100% true. I have my own opinions, but I'm not fixated on any one opinion. I'm not saying it's 100% like this. It can also be 80% this and 20% that, and it's never black and white. There's some things I don't like about RFK either, like the fact that he supports Israel, which I really don't like. But are we really going to find a politician that is like 100% thinking like us? No, because even we, people who are, aware of the conspiracy against humanity, we don't even think 100%. Some people believe the earth is flat. I personally don't believe that, but they have a right to believe that. And I'm not going to judge them for it. So, like a person like Viktor Orban, the president of Hungary, he's very against the EU, which I really like. But then again, and people in the truer community like him because he's very against the EU. But then again, he pushed extremely hard lockdowns in his country. And he was pro-vaccine too. So, it's really hard to get what you want. And it would be amazing if Trump would be on part of the good team, but there's I would hope that it is, because then that's a big deal for humanity. But hope is something different. What we want, I would want that, honestly. But that would be good. But wanting something is different than reality. It's not because people tend to believe something because they want it to be true. And sometimes maybe reality is not that black and white, but we do have to be open to the possibilities that good things may happen because of certain confluences or people coming together. So but I wish to remain very, very skeptical, and we'll see how this plays out. I mean, I'm not going to put all the cards on Trump because he did things in the past which I think are unforgivable. In my opinion, that's my opinion, and of course I have a right to have my opinion, as other people have a right to have theirs. But in my opinion, the vaccine issue is unforgivable to me. If you're the clip I showed, he did that. He said those words in December 2021. Then I'm thinking, if you didn't know by then in December 2021 that the vaccine wasn't no good, with Bill Gates and Fauci behind it, even if you're, fighting for freedom, if you didn't know by then, if you still were saying that in December 2021, then in my opinion, your discernment is not that good. So then I'm very, okay, let's wait and see here. So, not everything is so black and white, and so, but we have to, most importantly, we have to stray away from division. Everybody is allowed to think what they want. Everybody is allowed to be supporting of some person, even if we don't fully agree on that person, because we all want the same thing. We want freedom, and time will tell. Time will tell where we're going, how this will develop. But I think America is set for a presidency. Honestly, I think America is set for a presidency of RFK in 4 years, if that would be possible. I mean, there are so many scenarios. You could also say that if Trump wouldn't be a good guy, you could say that RFK is being maybe trapped in a way. I mean, I'm not saying this or that, but just we know reality isn't that black or white, and we're not going to get a politician that is like, a David Icke. That's just not going to happen. Our political systems and the people on the top are still, maybe in 50 years we will get a president who who is totally like a conspiracy theorist, but things move slower, and sometimes out of something bad also good can come. Something that seems bad at first, something good can come. So I don't want to be too negative either, because some people are saying it's all a show and we're all going to hell. No, I don't subscribe to that either. If we want to see a beautiful world in our lifetimes, the change will have to happen now, because this is going to take years and decades. If we want to see a better world for our children, as RFK said in his speech, the change will have to happen now, and we will have to allow that change. Also in our minds, we will have to allow it as a possibility. We will have to allow it as a possibility for a better world, because if you don't believe a better world is possible, then what are we doing anyway? So that's the message I wanted to share in relationship to RFK's support of Trump. So thanks for watching, and please don't forget to follow and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.